Hello, this is my day 70 video here at UPC, and I'll title this one Dad Lore because I made a lot of it. um, so the first half of the day was like perfectly fine. Like woke up, like my 8 a.m. AppSci lecture. Like, I went to bed late, like the day 69, so I really didn't want to go. I almost skipped. Like it was like 7:30. Like I need to get out of bed now if I want to make it to class on time, and like I'm really sleepy, but I don't know. I'm like, no, I'm not skipping any lectures, kind of. So I went, and I should not have. I should have skipped 100%. This lecture was like a recap of the like second big project that we took, and people talked about. Professors gave some feedback and whatnot, but I didn't care. Nobody cared. So yeah, that sucked. And then that ended, and I just went right back and like back to bed, kind of in my dorm room. Got the rest of my sleep. Then I woke up later, recorded the day 69 video, and then I went to grab myself a lunch because I hadn't had any food all that time. Got myself sandwiches, they're yummy, and then came back to my dorm and like continuing off of day 69. I was still feeling quite enraged and like really determined to get a lot of work done, so and like do better, kind of. So that's what I did. I basically worked the entire day. Especially one of the songs I'm listening to, it's called like 28 Days Later. Man, I swear, it does not help with like feeling happy. It's not a happy song, it's like hype, and it really like drives me. So in my state of mind, it was very focused. But yeah, so like I just worked the entire day. I got a lot done. Yeah, then at one point I grabbed dinner and like came back and worked a bunch. It just worked, kind of. And then at like 7, kind of start making plans with some friends. I kind of wanted to have them come over. We could like play Mario Kart and Smash Bros and have a bunch of fun, kind of. But then like some of the guys wanted to go out, so, like one that wanted to watch a movie or whatever. And so we're like trying to make plans. So basically we get into a car, like one of the guys had a car. We just drive around for a bit, like kind of like no clear destination in mind. We like they stop by the liquor store at some point, which will be a key factor later on. And then we went, and one friend's like, let's go get hot pot. He's like, I had it before. He's like, it's amazing, we should all go. And like me and the other guy are like, well, we don't know what this is. So like, okay, like, sure, let's go. So we show up to like the first hot pot place. We walk in, and oh my god, we're the only white people in that restaurant. Like complete, like, yeah, it was bad. Like everybody looked at us, and there was like a big crowd also waiting because a lot of reservations were already done. Like we saw like there was a screen that said like make a reservation now, and there was like already 45 reservations ahead of us. So we kind of looked at each other like, yeah, let's go someplace else. So we said no hot pot. So we walked out and we went to like a Korean fried chicken place. But like we walk in, and this is like polar opposite experience, as in there was nobody there. The menu was super whack. Like we looked at that, and I swear that was probably money laundering restaurant. Like no way, like people are actually eating here. Like, we just looked at each other like, all right, we're not eating here either. And like finally, like we found another hot pot place, like Beijing hot pot, and that's where we ended up going, and we were able to like find a table. So I've never had hot pot before. I have no idea what it is. So it comes time to order. We like order a meat platter, order like some veggies like winter melon, corn. They didn't have corn though, so we never ended up getting that, but we ended up having winter melon. We got like quail eggs as well. And we order, and then like a minute later, the waiter comes up. Oh, we ordered online, right? The waiter like appears, he's like, hey, you guys didn't order like a soup base. And we're like, like, we don't know why that's bad. And he's like, you guys have nothing to cook with. And I'm like, huh? So yeah, that was embarrassing. Like he literally shows up. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, you can't cook like any of this without a soup base." And I swear, the friend that said he had hot pot before, man, bro, he set us up for failure. Okay, like maybe he's had hot pot before, huh? But like judging by him, you could not tell me he's had hot pot before. Like he didn't know when the meat was cooked. He didn't know if like the quail legs were cooked or not. He didn't know that you were supposed to order a soup base. Like, he did not set us up for success. So basically, like just three white dudes, also in like Asian only restaurant. Like we're the only white people in there, and like people are 100% looking at us, laughing at us too. Especially because one of my friends like can't use chopsticks properly, so he's out there struggling. It was an experience. But yeah, finally we ordered some soup bases, and like we got the meat, got to cooking, like finally had a more like pretty decent experience. The meat is by far the best part in my opinion. Like you put it in the soup base and then you eat it. Like honestly, amazing. I enjoyed it. Like that was yummy. But we paid like $25 for a meat platter. As for that meat platter could like satiate one person tops. So yeah, we were like quite hungry. Like we cooked the winter melon, which I'm pretty sure you're supposed to. I don't know. We were like making shit up as we went. We were just like throwing everything into the hot pot and just seeing what happens. Yeah, I don't know. It was awkward. The quail eggs were like really round and soft and really slimy. So you like picking them up with chopsticks, even I would struggle with. Like I just every time I apply pressure, it'd like pop out, and it was like quite embarrassing, especially if you put the quail egg like in the soup base and like trying to get it out was like impossible. So we were like, oh, we just looked like three idiots. I swear it was so bad. Like the experience was fun, but man, in the moment it was so embarrassing and like humiliating. It was just not it. But I would go again someday, like especially if like an Asian friend is willing to take me and guide me through the process a bit better than whatever we did yesterday. But yeah, after that we just split the bill and went on our way. It ended up being quite expensive, to be honest, too. Like it was like $70, so like a lot. But whatever, we finished out and we kind of looked at each other and we just wanted to go home. It was like that was a humbling experience. So yeah, with that, we decided to head home and went up to my dorm. Also, one thing I want to mention, the weather yesterday was atrocious. Like, dog shit. It was so bad. It was raining, like, yeah, it was raining. Like, not drizzling, it was raining. And the wind was blowing really hard, and it was cold outside. But the rain and the wind were so bad. If you ever got caught in like a wind tunnel, oh my god, like nothing could stop like the wind. You were feeling it like in your bones, not like just like on your skin, like in your bones. It was the most brutal wind like I've ever seen, to be honest. It was really bad. But yeah. So basically when we were walking from like the first hot pot place to the Korean fried chicken to the like second hot pot place, like every one of those like 5-minute walks was like, I don't know, it was like equivalent to trying to like split the sea, you know? It was bad. Like you walk into every like new restaurant soaked, and every time we make the decision like we're not gonna be eating here, we like walk back out. So yeah, that weather really like wasn't great. Anyways, finally made it back home to my dorm, and we'll end up playing Mario Kart. We had Crown Royale and soju. It was good, especially one of my friends had never had soju before, and I recommended it, and he really liked it. But yeah, basically let's just say like, some people, myself included, got pretty incapacitated. So yeah, Mario Kart was quite challenging. Like I'm pretty good at Mario Kart, But when like trying to play Mario Kart in the state I was, impossible. Like I can't understand how people drink and drive, to be honest. Like you are not in control in the slightest. Like the amount of times I crashed or just like drove off the map in a video game where the controls are like 3 buttons, right? Like how do people, I don't know, how do people think they can like operate a car is wild. But yeah, that was that. At one point, one of my friends, okay, so I think it's time to give people names. The person who set us up for failure in the hot pot, hey, Barry. It's like Barry. I've talked about him before. Like Barry. Other person, I'm gonna call him a goalie. Honestly, I really like him. Like I've been hanging out more with him recently. He's like really, really chill dude. So a goalie is the guy who like didn't know how to use chopsticks. He also like is the one that got really, really incapacitated. But he won. That was the worst thing too. Like he was the most drunk out of anyone. And he like destroyed us in Mario Kart. It was so bad. Like my ass was handed on a platter to me. But I did beat him twice, or once, and the other time was like neck and neck. So like I demonstrated at least some skill. But yeah, like he was really, really good. Yeah. Anyways, at one point a goalie like didn't feel super too great, so he went to the bathroom. He kind of just fell asleep in the bathroom. He didn't lock the door, I think, anything thankful. Oh, even if he did, it would not be a problem. But yeah, he was kind of just sitting on the floor, like asleep, like leaning against the wall. So yeah, he was out. And at that point, we realized like, okay, we're hungry because we did not eat nearly enough at the hot pot. Like that's why I mentioned the meat platter earlier, because yeah, it was just nearly not enough. We paid like a bunch of money and just not nearly enough food. So we're hungry, like drunk, and it's like really bad weather outside. And also you have a goalie over here just like passed out, right? So at that point, we were like, okay, there's a pizza place like that's like open 24/7, Uncle Fatih's. So we decided to make the brave trip of going there. I layered up my friends as best I could. I gave one of them like one of my puffer jackets, the other one like a waterproof coat. And then I put on my waterproof jacket. I put on my coat and like grabbed my umbrella, which honestly, that umbrella was fighting for its life that entire trip. It was like a, I don't know, 15-minute walk. That 15-minute walk was like the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Like once, like when I was younger, I got caught in like a brainstorm, like at a water park, and like I remember being like huddled with like my mom and brother and like just trying to conserve any body heat, and like while we're completely soaked. This walk was like 10 times worse. It was cold, it was free, it was super, super bad. But when you're drunk, you don't feel it that much, so it was bearable. But yeah, my umbrella was fighting for its life against those winds. Finally made it to the pizza place. Like one of the guys ordered a pizza for all of us. So we ate a bit, saved a couple slices for a goalie because like I knew he should eat some at some point too. Yeah, then like walked back to my dorm, and at that point, like everybody's energy is just plummeting. Like that walk took everything out of us. Our goalie's like passed out, and the other two guys just like not feeling it. Like Barry, at one point, while sitting like in the pizza place, he's like, "Guys, don't think this is the wrong way, but I just want all of you guys to shut the fuck up and like not talk to me anymore." So bro just really wanted to shut down and like get some sleep. So which is understandable after a long night, especially after that hot pot experience. So yeah, made it back to like my dorm. Like basically, like I said goodbye to Barry and another guy, and I have a goalie in my dorm. He's like passed out, like really wasted. I don't know, like what do I do with you? So like I tried waking him up. Like I woke him up. I like, hey, like how are you feeling? Like I could tell he was not in any like shape to do anything. So I kind of just let him sleep in my bed, or on my bed, not in my bed, on it, because yeah, he just fell asleep on top of like the dogs, and basically I'm like, all right, well, all right. So what I did is I slept on the floor. I like laid out my coat, grabbed the pillow. I put on like several layers of socks, like sweatpants. I have a really warm, like fuzzy jacket. Like I just wore that and like I just slept on the floor. Honestly, it wasn't as bad of an experience as I thought it would be. It was not enjoyable, but it was quite okay. I took great care of a goalie. I like got water ready for him. I took off his glasses so like they wouldn't break while he was sleeping. I even at one point he was turning over and I managed to like place a pillow under him. So bro got some good rest. And yeah, I went to bed. And usually I would end my day 70 video at that, because like basically my day ends when I go to bed, right? Like, oh, most people. But this video I am gonna continue it because at 6 a.m. a goalie woke up, like went to bed at 2. At 6 a.m. he woke up and he's like, what time is it? And like immediately I wake up too, is because like I don't get deep sleep around others. So like I'm like, it's 6. And basically like me and a goalie woke up. He was feeling a lot better, or at least a lot more sober. Like his stomach hurt, like of course, like hangover kind of thing. So like I pumped him full of water. Like I want to heat up the pizza that we saved for him. Like that pizza saved him. Like he went from looking like pale and greenish to like decent coloring, more or less. So yeah, and at that point, I found out that like a goalie doesn't have a key card to get back into his dorm because like he lost it a day ago or so, and basically the front off desk wasn't open yet. So like even if I kick him out now, he has nowhere to go. So, and he was like saying he was gonna start working. So I'm like, you know what, let's both work. So I gave him my laptop. I like pulled up my desktop. I did an assignment, like reviewed chemistry, like reviewed my chem notes. I texted my mom, or like the family chat at some point. I'm like, hello, like all is good, I'm studying, right? It's like, what, 7 a.m. I sent that message a bit later, to be honest, but like, yeah, I was studying at like 6:30 a.m. And then like my mom responds like soon after. She's like, great job. Did you get enough sleep? Because like it's early on a Saturday, right? Like, why am I waking up so early? And I just found it not like, my response was not really, but like I'm just thinking about to myself like, oh my god, mom, if only you knew how I just slept last night, you would not be asking such frivolous questions. But yeah, that was that. Like we worked, but like both me and a goalie were still hungry, and like your stomach hurts after drinking liquor. So we like waited until 8 a.m. like when the dining hall opened, and like we went, like ate food immediately. And like that made things better. But yeah, that was a process. That like that day 70 was crazy. Like from the moment I met with my friends, from then on it was so bad. Like I forgot to mention so many things, but now so I'm literally gonna go back and fill in some gaps. So we drove to, I said we drove around with like no clear destination in mind. The game plan was to like watch a movie. That was like the original game plan. So we drove to like a movie theater place. But like, I don't know, Barry was just like fucking with us the entire night. He drove us to like the movie theater place. Like he says it's like a really good movie theater. And we were there at like 7:30. The movie's like 9:45. And we're like, what the hell do you want us to do, right? And he's like, oh, I don't know. So like, what is this? So we decided not to wait that long. Like just spent like 2 hours doing nothing. So we just had to drive to the hot pot places. So like we drove there. On the way, Barry was just giving really crampy like directions. So like at that point, I took over. I'm like, a goalie, I got you. Like I was giving directions, and like a goalie was many times more thankful to me than he was to Barry for the quality of the directions I gave. So Yeah, I was a good navigator. Like, made it to the hot pot place. Like, obviously, the entire hot pot experience. And after the hot pot experience, like, we're like, okay, like, let's just go home, right? And like driving home, we were going kind of past the airport, and we took like a wrong exit. And like at one point, we were driving on a road, but there was like absolutely like nothing, like no cars, no nothing. And I think it was like a maintenance road for the airport or something. But like I had like no data either. Like I can't find where the hell we are, because I wasn't giving directions actually on the way back, because he pulled up like the map on his car, like this place. So I wasn't like in charge of directions. But at that point, I need to like figure out where the hell we are. And like no data and like no location. Like my phone doesn't know where the hell we are. I'm like, bro, this is like so bad. But like finally, like I got like connection. Like for a moment, like I found out where we are. Like I'm like, bro, you need to turn around. Like so we literally just did like a big U-turn across like 2 lanes. Or like no cars in sight, nothing. Like it's just pure black roads. Especially because it's wet outside. It's been raining, right? You can't see anything. So we just like did a big U-turn, like and drove back, and finally got back onto like main streets and like made it back home. So yeah, that was that. Like getting home was a process. Like, and walking into my dorm, like we got like some of the most brutal wind as well. Like that 2-minute walk from the like car parking to my dorm, brutal. Like really bad. But yeah, finally made it back to my dorm, and that's like when we played Mario Kart. So we're playing Smash Bros. First we started playing Smash Bros. Before Mario Kart, and the power went out. But basically, like we're playing, and the monitor shuts off. All the lights in the room turn off, and I'm like, what the hell? And like I look outside, and the hallway lights are still on. So I'm like, oh no! Like did like I short circuit my room? Like did I overload the circuitry? Like did I blow a switch? Because that's could be possible. Like I had a lot of lights turned on. I had like a goalie's phone was plugged in and charging. Like my monitor's plugged in. Like the switch is drawing power. Like it could be. Like I don't think it should have, but it could be, right? And like I look outside, and like the hallway lights are still on. Like I can tell through the door. And I'm like, oh crap, right? But like immediately open the door, like check outside, and the RA is like opening her door too, and like turns out the power went out all of campus. And the hallway lights I saw were like emergency kind of, I guess, like backup generators or whatever. So there was some light there, but yeah, I'm pretty sure some people got stuck in elevators, to be honest. So yeah, that was a process. Like power went out, but people like just didn't know what to do. But like, well, me and my friends just had different priorities. Like I confirmed that power went out. I'm like, okay. I just went back to my dorm and took the switch out the dock, and like you can play just off the switch, right? So we all like scooted in, just like this tiny like screen, like played like that, right? Like we're drunk, we have different priorities. Like Mario Kart is more important than like dealing with like having no power, but like we can't do anything either way. So like might as well have fun. At one point, like when I was playing on the monitor, it was fine because everybody could see. But then when the power went out, the switch was small, so we had to go get chairs. So basically, we walked out my room, right? Like we went to grab a couple of chairs from like the study lounge, which I've done before. Whenever I have like people in my room, like need places to sit. So like, but like I'm walking past the RA because the RA is out in the hall, like informing anybody, right? And like basically, we walk into like lounge, we take the chairs, we're like walking back out, and like the RA gives me a look. I'm like, these will be returned, like don't worry about this, like I always return them. And then like this one girl is like, she's like, yeah, he does this all the time, he's done this like 5 times, like I don't know what the hell he's doing in there with those chairs. And it's like, man, like shut up, like like why you gotta snitch? So yeah, that was that. Yeah. Also, when drinking tonight, like last night, I finally got to learn some toasts with my friends, like, or some cheers, I guess. So they're quite fun. One of them is not very PG, so I only say the first half of it. It's like, cheers to love, cheers to honor. And I won't continue the rest because it's not PG, but I love that phrase. And if you know, you know. But then another one I like heard later on, it's like, if I go before you, raise a glass to my name, and if you go before me, I'll do the same, or like something along those lines. And I really like that cheer as well. So yeah, that was keeping us going the entire night. It's fine. We kept drinking a lot of water throughout the entire night, and yeah, I finished my Tim Tams. Those Tim Tams were fighting for their life in my stomach. So yeah, it was a wild night. I had a lot of fun. I unlocked a lot of dad lore, especially the entire hot pot experience, and like getting pizza at like 1 a.m. in that like weather. So yeah, it was wild. Then like sleeping on my floor in my own bedroom, I don't know. When woke up and he found out like I slept on the floor, and he's like, what the hell? He's like, why didn't you kick me out? Like, why did you let me like be such a bum and like stay in your dorm? I'm like, well, I couldn't really wake you up. And like I don't know how to deal with that situation, so like I just made sure he was comfortable. But yeah, it was a wild night, really wild. Like basically went to bed at 2, woke up at 6, like, and started studying. I don't wish that fate on anybody ever. It was like the dumbest thing I've ever done. It was fun. I studied fairly well. There was one concept in chemistry I just like could not understand, but like I rewatched part of a lecture and like I got it. So that was something. Yeah, me and Goalie really vibed in the morning. But yeah, man, that was just a different kind of thing. But yeah, with that, my day 70 ended. Like I had breakfast and I went back to my dorm and I slept some more. So that's where I'm gonna cut off my day 70. Like I came back and slept a second time. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. I think this was a long yap session, but it was fun. A lot happened, so I think hopefully at least this is engaging. I don't know, I had a lot to say. I had a lot of fun last night, so I wanted to share all of it. Yeah, with that, I'm done, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.